Hello, it's Greg. Welcome back to Thursday Thoughts, a version that we're doing in 2026 of as an extension of 20-minute collaborations. I'm Greg Potter, the host, and right now what we're going to be doing for part of this year is reading the email that I send out on Thursdays. And it's called Thursday Thoughts. This year we've decided to take questions from readers to help illuminate what collaborative intelligence looks like in different ways. This week's question is from Rob in Santa Barbara, California. He says, I'm a project manager in a manufacturing company. We have Monday meeting huddles with our entire team, and then the rest of the Monday are meetings for each project we're doing. Honestly, they are just meetings to meet. I'm feeling this is not the best use of our time. Can you suggest ways to clean up these meetings and make Mondays more effective? Oh, Rob, I hear you on that. I feel the meeting paradox. Back in 2024, in the 2024 run of Thursday Thoughts, I wrote a reflection called Did That Meeting Fill You or Deplete You? I'll link that in the show notes. Your question feels like a 2.0 version of that because it's not just about one meeting anymore. It's about an entire Monday being consumed by meetings. This, I imagine, feels more like maintenance than momentum. So I want to start by answering your question with a question of my own. What is the purpose of each meeting? Many organizations are operating in what I call a meeting default system. Even though tools like Asana and Slack and other shared dashboards have dramatically improved how we track work, we still act as if every detail requires a meeting. It doesn't. If I had to guess, you could eliminate at least half of your Monday meetings without losing effectiveness. And with that, I'll wave my magic wand. The first piece, Rob, let's go into the full team Monday meeting. I'm going to assume that this intention here is alignment, a moment to center and align everyone for the week ahead. That's a great intention. I invite you to ask whether that meeting is actually filling people or just checking a box. At its best, this kind of meeting isn't about updates. It's about recommitment to culture, the people, and the shared reason everyone keeps showing up. When done well, it should leave people clear, more connected, and more energized, not drained before the real work even begins on Monday. If this meeting is not assisting in setting trust and celebration, then I suggest you create a new intention. Now, with the project meetings on Monday, a large part of the framework we teach about collaborative intelligence is learning to discern when the whole group needs to meet or when trust-based check-ins are enough. Years ago, a company I worked with ran a Bloody Mary festival. It was about 3,000 drunk people, dozens of moving parts, one clear objective. At the start, the whole group met to identify needs and assign roles. Then one person, very likely someone like you, Rob, became the central node. At the Ionic, we'd call it a collaboration facilitator, but project manager works equally well. This is a person everyone trusts to integrate information and make decisions. Once roles are clear, each person led their piece. If my role or sponsorships, my job wasn't to attend every meeting with the team. It was to call and connect with sponsors. A quick email or 5-minute check-in with the project manager is plenty. The full group only came together for major updates, completed phases, changes that affected trust or direction or celebration. One big meeting that we all came together was when we sold more tickets than we anticipated. It was a beautiful problem to have. But we got to the point where the venue that we originally booked was not going to work. So we all need to come together and make some new changes and then bring in a new actor as the new venue. This is the key distinction. Meetings are for meaning, direction, and trust, not constant reassurance. What you're really redesigning here isn't just meetings. It's leadership, facilitation, trust, and how conflict gets handled before it turns into control. So what's really driving the meetings? This is where awareness of self and friendliness to collaborate, two of the collaborative intelligence building blocks, come in. Often, excessive meetings are fueled by anxiety, fear of losing control, lack of trust, or simple habit. Left unchecked, that turns into subtle micromanaging, and that's a fast pace to burnout or disengagement. Friendliness to collaboration isn't just saying, yes, I want to work together. It also means saying, I trust you'll tell me if you need something, and until then, I'll assume that the work is moving. That single shift can eliminate hours of unnecessary meetings. I'm not suggesting you eliminate meetings altogether, but I am inviting you to imagine this. What if one Monday a month was meeting heavy and the rest were designed for real work? This is a complex conversation. So this one email, this one moment with me is only going to take us so far. But I hope it gives you a new lens and a few concrete options to rethink how your Mondays are structured. I'm always happy to meet with you. I do want to leave you with these Thursday thoughts in 2026. We're leaving every email with a reflection question. And this is the reflection question prompted by Rob's question. I'll say the question one more time. Question. Here we go. Which of your reoccurring meetings are actually about trust and anxiety, and which truly need the whole group in the room? See where that mirrors the self-awareness? You might even be thinking of a meeting right there where you're like, oh, I'm just meeting because I need to, it's about me, not about them. Or, a boss or a leader that's meeting, we see it. Once we start seeing it, it becomes so clear and so much more easy to identify. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday Thoughts, the edition of 20-Minute Collaborations. I'm Greg Potter. You can find me on social media and LinkedIn at GG Potter. My website is ggpotter.com. And if you want to check out the International Institute on Collaboration, check out iionc.org. That's iionc.org, Ionic. Thanks again, and have a wonderful collaborative day wherever you are. And please breathe and find your center. Thank you.